two very popular figures, Welshman Jim Williams and, of course, the now legendary Lakeside performer Tony O'Shea. The two met at this stage last year. Jim a 3-0 winner. Will Tony get his revenge? Watching on for us, the asset Paul Nicholson alongside Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Matt. Well, that was Jim's first ever win in the Lakeside World Championships when he beat Tony in the first round last year. Now they meet in the first round for a second successive year. Jim actually wasn't too far away from beating Wesley Harms for a place in the quarterfinals 12 months ago. He was the 12th seed last year. He's the 13th seed this time round, is Jim. In the context of this match, though, the Welshman a relative novice in this tournament because the Silverback is back again for his 16th successive appearance at the Lakeside. And there'll be few more popular winners of the title than Tony O'Shea, who knows what it takes to have a deep run in the tournament. He's reached the final on 3 separate occasions. In a 5-year span as well at the start of this decade. And they love him. They absolutely love him here.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
It's Williams O'Shea revisited. 4th seed Jamie Hughes or Martin Atkins await the winner of this one.
Let the rematch commence.
41.
It was this time last year. They had played each other in exactly the same round. On that occasion, it was all Jim Williams, but this is all Tony O'Shea at the start of the match.
Good early settler for the Silverback.
Just talking to Nick Rawls, one of the referees who does such a great job here. I wonder why Jim Williams is called the Quiff. Might have something to do with that quiff on his head. He's a good-looking lad. Good for Welsh darts. And the Welsh have been doing very well in this championship for many years. My mate Mark Webster picked up the title a few years ago. I know he'll be watching at home. The great Leighton Rees.
85.
And Richie Burnett as well.
Yep.
Jim hoping to be the 4th Welsh world champion. He's one of 4 Welshmen in the men's draw this year.
58.
Comes from a little village right on the border, and he would say he comes from a little village just the right side of the border.
That's the thing about the Welsh. They're very, very Welsh, and they're very proud of it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, he's got work to do here. Tony with an opportunity of nicking the first leg against the darts. 76. Might only be the first leg. He'll bring the house down if he can get it. Get himself ahead. It's tops.
36.
Williams can steal.
21.
60 would have left 61. That leaves the bull though. Bullseye.
74.
It dipped a bit at the end.
Tony, you require 40.
O'Shea can consolidate a great start with tops. Still open for business. Great guide.
No score.
But he can't capitalise.
You require 47.
Will it be a costly error? Only 1 dart at a double. It should have been 2, but he only needs the 1.
Jim Williams.
Got himself out of a tight little corner there, Jim Williams. After Tony missed 4 darts at a double, it's Jim Williams who holds his throw.
Tony O'Shea, for me, Jim,
45.
has been using the same type of equipment probably since I was born. Union Jack flights, white stems,
26.
same darts. It's all change. It's all gone black and white, which I'm not adverse to, being a Newcastle supporter. It just looks weird.
59.
Looks fresh though, I like it. Change is as good as the rest, as they say, but Tony O'Shea got a bit of work to do to get into this set.
55. 41.
What do you think the party would be like in Stockport if he won this tournament? I think it'd be a national holiday in that area.
100.
Well, it'd be extraordinary here, let alone Stockport. I think half of Stockport are here today supporting him.
There's a very prominent darts academy in Stockport at the college. I've done some work there with some incredible youngsters, run by a fella by the name of Paul Mack. I know Tony's done a little bit of work there as well. Real hub of darting talent, that area. Obviously Darryl Fitton. Same sort of area as Stuart Kellett, a former finalist.
140.
Will Mellor, one of Tony's close friends, here to support him.
60. Tony, you require 137.
137. Not this time for Tony, but he will be back.
97.
Tops when he returns, and he will return. Williams trying to apply the pressure.
100. Tony, you require 40.
He's missed 4 darts at tops already. Make that 5. How will he get on with 10s? This is a nervy moment for him.
30.
Well, can Williams steal
Jimmy,
again?
you require 100.
It's a bit of a slippery shot in the last leg. Is he going to go tops here? He's having to think about it. It's a dodgy lie. He might go treble 16 for double now. Good thinking, because the flight was obstructing that tops. Looked at the open bed. Good thinking from Williams, but didn't execute. Double 5. That's a good guide. But that is not. So Williams is getting away with it at the minute. 16 for double to go 2-0 up in the first set. That's it. 2-0 up in the first set. Antonio O'Shea staring down the barrel of a gun in this first set.
Third leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
Holt's here, and he's won the first set. The only difference between the two players so far has been the finishing.
$60.
50% for Jim. Tony has missed 5 darts at tops, 2 at double 10s, 2 at double 5.
3.
That's a very unfortunate visit. That's 3 the hard way. It's one of those things that happens now and again. Even very good players
96.
get a bit of misfortune now and again. That's the way to put it right. Even the darts are trying to come out of his hand now. Got to see the lighter side of it. Maybe a few nerves. Oh my God.
80.
It's happened again.
Three bounce outs in the space of 4 darts.
100.
Okay, so that happens. What can you do as a player to stop it happening again?
I think in this occasion, it's just a little bit of misfortune. It's just flick the flight, and the way that Jim's darts actually go into the board, they're very, very upright. So they're losing momentum as they go towards the board, and we've just seen another one. And if you look at the way that Tony's darts go in, it's exactly the same, very upright. And when they lose the momentum and they flick down at the end, it's more likely to happen to these guys than it would be with someone who throws them very flat.
100.
Ryan Joyce is probably a good example of that, because his were going in straight as a ruler. Very, very flat.
60.
And very, very well earlier on.
Perfect view of the trajectory of the Williams dart.
99.
There is another way that you can actually stop from that happening. You can actually sharpen the edge of the points, put a groove in there, or maybe sand them down.
94.
Double trouble for
Jimmy
Silverback.
requires 78.
We could be 1 set to Williams if he can hit 20 in tops. Tops it is for the set. Tops it is, and it is the set. Jim Williams, that's 4 sets in a row against Tony O'Shea Lakeside. That's a shake of the head from Silverback. He's got to come back from here. He's got to fix it quick.
Yeah, it's got to be quick against the quiff from this point, and not too much between the two, except the finishing. 3 out of 5 for Williams, 9 out of 10 for O'Shea, and as you can see, Tony's got the higher average. His point scoring has been better, but that is the most alarming statistic as far as the Stockport Silverback is concerned up to this point.
100.
That 60% checkout percentage is world class from Jim Williams. Obviously the average isn't to his liking. He won't care a jot about that right now. He will look at that scoreboard and be absolutely cock-a-hoop.
This for his first maximum.
140.
Instead, it's his second ton 40.
That's better.
Jim, you require 161.
Tony O'Shea's back in this leg, and he's going to get a pocket 44. Hasn't hit a double yet. Will he get it this time, Jim?
Goes for double 16. He's missed that as well now. What about double 8s?
28. Jim, you require 101.
Well, sometimes you can't buy a double. It's just one of those days so far. Can Jim Williams check 81 with 2? He might, you know. Double 18. Oh, what a shot from Jim Williams. Clinical stuff. And Will Mellor shaking his head. The Stockport end of the crowd is very, very quiet.
Game on.
4 unanswered legs for Jim Williams, and in all 4, Tony O'Shea has had a dart at a double.
140.
Jill hoping that Tony's fortunes improve. 12 missed doubles so far. He's thrown at 6 different doubles on the board. Not been able to hit them so far. Actually, not too much between these two in terms of the rankings, even though Jim is a seeded player and Tony, for all his experience here, isn't. They're ranked 16 and 19, respectively, in the BDO list at the moment.
95.
That really isn't much. Very evenly matched, obviously, in the last year or so. Jim Williams has a couple of ranking titles to his name.
100.
Both of those coming in 2015. He's had a very steady 2016, consolidated his reputation. I think that's important
60.
when you've had a breakthrough year like he did in 15. He's played some good stuff against some great players, and he's back here at Lakeside to further his experience.
100.
Jim first qualified for Lakeside in 2014 when he lost to Dave Prince in the first round, then didn't make it the following
60.
year.
Jim, you require
Returned last year,
120.
seeded, beat Tony, and he's on the way to a repeat at the moment. Didn't get the Shanghai that he wanted.
60.
Another 60 left.
Well, sometimes players just feel really comfortable against certain other players, and maybe Jim Williams just loves playing Tony O.
137. Jim, you require 60.
If he likes this 60, to the right-hand side it should be, or maybe the left.
40.
Well, he tried both and failed on both occasions, so Tony to get himself back in the match, 104.
The door is open, perfect first start. Double 16 for a 104. How much did he need that?
Welcome back to the game, Tony O'Shea. What a beautiful checkout that was. And a wry smile and a little giggle as if to say, where have you been? Double percentage has just got a little better.
And both legs in this second set
44.
against the darts. After that 104 from Tony O'Shea.
It's actually a good thing, I think, for Jim Williams there. Just keeps him honest. You know, Tonio's not having the greatest game of his career. He's turning up the heat.
140.
But Jim Williams will think, right, he's hit a nice check out now. I've got to refocus and get back into the lead in this set.
100.
You talk about what might be going through Jim's mind playing against Tony O'Shea. He's got a good record against him. He's beaten him the last twice that he's played him. I just wonder whether it's in Tony's mind that
100.
the Lakeside experience hasn't been great for him over the last 3 years. He last won a match on this stage in this tournament in the semi-finals in 2013. He was brilliant that night against Wesley Harms, beat him 6-4 in a thriller in the semi-finals.
100.
Lost the final that year, and then has been beaten in the first round by Martin Adams, Scott Mitchell and Jim Williams since. So
60.
just needing a win, needing to claw his way back into this one. Is that playing on his mind, do you think?
Possibly, because when you go on that kind of drought, it gets harder and harder to get the W.
140.
But to give respect to Tony O'Shea, 3 decent players have beaten him in the last few years.
Well, he nearly beat Scott Mitchell in the first round. Scott went on to win the title 3-2 when the two met in one of the best first round games the Lakeside seen in the last few years.
102.
We've got a pivot leg here. This 102. Treble 14 perhaps. Tops it is for 2-1 in this set.
82.
Just under pitched.
Tony requires 70.
And now all of a sudden, to get some momentum, 70, 20 and double 16. Going to stay down in the corner that he's hit before
54.
on the wire.
Jimmy required 20.
And this is a leg on the O'Shea throw, remember. So way off with that first dart at double 10. And the second. Pauses for breath. Refocuses.
No score.
Misses again.
Tony requires 16.
That's the reprieve that O'Shea has been craving. Has an opportunity. Will he take it?
No score.
He won't.
Jimmy required 20.
So it's a bit edgy. And Jim Williams has got to fix this situation. Slightly to the right. Trying to go over the top of the first dart.
No score.
To no avail. And O'Shea comes back.
Well, he's already missed 4 darts
Tony
at a double in this leg.
16.
But Williams has missed 7. Double 4 now. Nerves being shredded. One more dart at double 4.
8. Jimmy required 20.
I think both players understand the importance of this leg, and that's why we've seen so many missed doubles. Still double 10. Still double 10.
No score.
And it's gone next door. Next door's not good enough.
Tony require 8.
Not the time to see your neighbour. Double 2 now. Will that be any better?
4. Jimmy required 20.
He's missed 9 darts at double 10 in this leg. Make that 10. Make that 11. What about double 5 for Jim Williams?
10.
Not happening for him.
Well, this is doubles goalkeeping
Tony required
like Manuel
4.
Neuer at his best. He's keeping them all out. Madhouse for O'Shea. Very mad. A pivotal leg. Not the best leg you'll ever see, but very dramatic all the same. O'Shea in front in this second set.
4th leg, it's Jim to throw first. Game on.
Nobody was under any doubt as to the significance and the ramifications of holding his throw there. Tony O'Shea,
45.
13th time lucky. Williams had missed 14 darts, had a double in that leg.
60.
And it's 2-1 O'Shea in the second when it could so easily have been 2-1 Williams.
60.
It seems like Jim has lost his scoring boots a little bit here. Needs to find that first dart.
85.
Get a little bit of comfort up there. That's better. Just pound it into that. Hit the flights. Bang, 180.
140.
Well, they've had a little bit of a break from the treble segment. Go for the doubles. It's been a welcome break. And a bit of banter between the players there. Nerves are getting shredded, like you say. Oh, there's a mobile going off. It can't be that important. We're watching the darts.
80. Jim, you require 136.
Well, O'Shea held his throw, and Williams reply in kind to take this set to a deciding leg.
60. Tony, you require 161.
Oh, this would be an absolute peach if he can find it. Treble 17. Can lay up lovely
97.
if he hits a 60, but there's pressure now on this 76. This is needed to stay in this set.
Tops.
Game shot.
No problem this time.
Jim Williams. Fifth leg, it's Tony to throw first. Game on.
Natalie relieved as Jim ties it up, but again, all Tony's got to do is hold here. And it's a set apiece.
140.
Easy in theory, isn't it? Sounds so simple. When you've got a hungry Welshman hitting trebles like this, it gets even harder.
Jim's second maximum.
26.
Perfect time for it as well. Can he follow up with a big score here and take advantage of Tony's 26? 4 perfect darts at the start of this leg.
140.
180, 140. He's got a big lead as he looks to make it 2-0.
I said he lost his scoring boots. He must have found them in the boot room, because this is a delicious leg so far, especially in the most important leg of the match so far. O'Shea could get the parity of 1-1, but it's not looking likely now because Williams has butchered the 60 in this penultimate. What could be the penultimate set if he keeps going like this.
$140. Jimmy require 81.
Tony frustrated that the third one didn't go in. Will he be back? Double 9 for a 2-0 lead.
63.
Will he be back? Well, his friend Daryl Fitton hit a beauty of a 92 earlier. Could he eclipse it with a bullseye?
70.
The answer is no.
Jimmy require 18.
Straight for double 9. He looks straight at it. It's a beautiful guide. It's even better now. And it's in there. 2 sets to love. Jim Williams, and it's looking like deja vu for Tony O'Shea. As we go into the break, Jim Williams is in a cracking position. Tony O'Shea really has got a lot of work to do. Jim Williams will think he nearly let that set away from himself, but he's rescued it with some fantastic scoring in that last leg shootout in set 2. We'll be back to see set 3 and potentially set 4 very shortly.
Welcome back. The last match tonight going the way of Wales. Earlier, if you weren't with us, wins for Canada in the shape of Jeff Smith, 3-1 winner over Japan's Seigo Asada. Mark McGrath came from 2 sets down to win 3-2 over Roger Janssen. Both of those preliminary round matches in the men's draw. Aileen de Graaf was very impressive in a straightforward 2-0 win over Rachel Brookshill. Played Trina Gulliver in the quarters. And Jim Williams, 2 up and counting against Tony O'Shea, who's had his chances, but 7% on the doubles will not work at any level, amateur or professional darts. Have a look at really this last few legs that have decided the second set, Chris.
Yes, well, that wasn't too much of a devastating blow, but the 76 in the second set last start,
yeah,
and then the double 9 last start, while Tony was sat there waiting.
Oh.
When this went in for Tony, you were thinking, right, you know, is this going to be the moment he pushes on? But that there to go 2-0, 1-1 game on, 2-0 game over for me.
Is it done?
Yeah. I don't think he can come back from that. He would be absolutely on the floor, where Jim would be buzzing. Breaks come, you know, I mean, break won't suit either of them really at that point. Probably Tony, he may be able to go backstage, regroup, come back out and have another go, but Jim looks just so confident.
As we watch Tony re-emerge, I just wonder, is it unkind to suggest that Jim's career is heading in an upward direction? Tony's maybe in a gentle
downward? Yeah, I think that's totally fair, yeah, and I think Tony would be the first to admit that. They're both in totally different stages of their respective careers. You know, like we said at the off, and like Jill said, he has had a niggling injury which has prevented him from putting in the hours to prepare properly, so he can't be too disheartened. You know, he's had a relatively good season, won a big tournament, so you know, it's all about this year and what he can do. Yeah,
starting right now, got to find something from somewhere if he is to stay in contention and in the competition. Back we go to the commentary.
Thank you, Matt. Well, he needs a set against the darts to start with.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Take it from there.
Third set, first leg. It's Jim to throw first. Game on.
One thing you can guarantee, if he does end up coming second in this match, there will be no more gracious loser all week than Tony O'Shea. Perfect gentleman.
140.
I echo that, Jim. What an ambassador for the game of darts. Some of the exhibitions that I've personally done in my career with Tony have been some of the most memorable. He gets people through the door because people genuinely just want to meet the man. I used to say that people won't say that about Jim Williams in a few years. He's got everything going for him.
100.
Well, the winner of this one plays the winner of the last match up tomorrow night, which is the 4th seed Jamie Hughes against Martin Atkins.
59.
If Jim can win that as well, he'll make it through to the quarterfinals. 5 years since we've had a Welshman in the quarterfinal.
100.
Charlie Corstefing calling his first ever men's match on the Lakeside World stage. Big occasion for him.
96.
Great addition to the referees roster this year.
I think all the referees who've graced this great stage will all remember their debut.
Jimmy McQuarrie, 106.
Thanks to George Noble, Nick Rolls, who we've always mentioned just before. Double 16. Oh yeah, this is all Jim Williams. And there's a look on the Tony O'Shea face, just saying, you know what, it might not be my night.
60.
He's won 7 of the last 9 legs, or 7 of the 9 legs all told. And what a start in this one for him.
180.
His 3rd of the night.
60.
If you look at the way that Jim Williams holds his darts, holds them right at the end, very much like Jamie Hughes, who you just mentioned.
100.
It's a lot of timber behind those fingertips, and he's throwing them with incredible accuracy right now.
60.
Remember one player who's actually won on the Lakeside stage back in the late 80s, who also threw the dart right at the end. My idol, Bob Anderson. What a dart player.
123.
Well, Tony with big work to do after 12 successive single 20s in this leg now. Jim's on a 12-darter. Double 12 for it. He's one leg away.
I think the word you're looking for, Jim, is clinical. What a great leg. At this point in the match, he's making short work of Silverback right now, and after a very iffy middle part of a second set where he thought Tony O'Shea was coming back into it, it's looking like Jim Williams is going to steamroll this whole thing.
All he has to do is hold, and Jim Williams is through.
100.
Tony O'Shea beaten 3-0 last year by Jim Williams. And it's heading inexorably for the same conclusion 12 months on.
100.
Just going back to that second set, he had those 15 consecutive missed darts at doubles, lost legs 2 and 3, and then came back, hit tops the first time of asking in the 4th leg. Hasn't looked back, hasn't lost a leg since then. 4 successive legs have gone his way in the Stockport contingent, I think, since the game is up now.
Yeah, brilliant visit. Puts a rubber stamp on this leg. It could well be over in the next visit, but that leg in the second set was the biggest moment of the match.
100.
But that could be now eclipsed with this 81, because it could be over in the next few seconds. 16 and bull, or treble 16 and double 9. Tony O'Shea's on a finish, so he's got to go for it, and he knows so.
Had a 12-darter in the last leg. Is it going to be a 12-darter this time round as well?
49.
Well, he gambled. He is gambling that Tonio's not going to hit it, and he's not. So the gamble's paid off. Jim Williams is coming back to the board, 3 darts in hand to go through. Double 16. Easy as that. He's done exactly what he did last year. 3-0 to Jim Williams over Tony O'Shea, and just like you said, what a gentleman Tony O'Shea is in defeat. Not to be him this year, but Jim Williams rolls on.
Tony O'Shea out at the first hurdle for a 4th successive year, but for Natalie's man, Jim Williams, it's another 3-0 win. Very impressive. He sprinted towards the finishing line there. And the game between him and Jamie Hughes or Martin Atkins will take some watching. Jim Williams through. He's beaten Tony O'Shea at the expense of only 2 legs.